Imagine this. You're sitting across the table from someone. Their smile is polite. Their words are calculated. Their body language carefully managed. They're showing you what they want you to see, the mask. But behind that mask, behind the small talk and fake smiles, lies their true nature. And if you ask the right questions, they'll hand you the keys to their mind without even realizing it. Most people think reading someone is about watching their micro-expressions or analyzing their body language like some FBI profiler. That's nonsense. The real way to read someone's mind is brutally simple. Make them reveal it themselves. You don't need 20 years of psychology. You don't need mind games. You need 5 sharp, surgical questions. The Stoics understood this well. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You can also commit injustice by doing nothing." In other words, if you want to see the truth in someone, don't sit in silence, force it out of them. Ask the questions that bypass the mask and cut into the raw flesh of who they really are. So let's cut the act. I'm going to give you 5 questions that will tell you everything you need to know about a person, their values, their fears, their weaknesses, and their true desires. These are questions I've used in business, in friendships, in relationships. They never fail. But first, remember this. People don't want you to know them. They want you to believe the version of themselves they've built like a fortress. These questions are how you kick the gates down. Let's dive in. Question 1. What do you respect most in other people? This question looks harmless. It feels like small talk, but it's a scalpel, because what a person claims to respect in others is really what they crave for themselves. If someone says, "I respect honesty," they're telling you they've been burned by lies. If they say, "I respect hard work," they're really saying they fear laziness in themselves. If they say, "I respect loyalty," it's because they've felt betrayal like a knife in the back. I once asked this to a man I was considering going into business with. He didn't hesitate. "I respect ruthlessness, not kindness, not wisdom, ruthlessness." That told me everything. He was willing to burn the world to win, and that was exactly why I never trusted him. Months later, I found out he'd scammed 2 other partners. His answer had already revealed the rot in his character. Seneca said, "Every man prefers belief to the exercise of judgment." Pay attention, because this is where people show you what they worship, and what a man worships controls him. Question 2. What's the hardest lesson life has taught you so far? This question doesn't just read the mind, it cuts straight to the scar tissue. Everyone has wounds, everyone has been broken. This question forces them to show you where. If their answer is about betrayal, you know trust is their weak spot. If it's about failure, you know ambition is their battlefield. If it's about loss, you know they fear attachment. I once asked this on a first date. She froze. Then, after a long silence, she said, "That no one's coming to save you." That one answer told me she had been abandoned, maybe by family, maybe by friends, but it also told me she was hardened. She wasn't waiting for heroes anymore, she was becoming her own. And right there, I knew I wasn't dealing with some shallow, spoiled princess. I was sitting across from someone forged in fire. Contrast that with another man I knew. His answer, that people aren't always nice, pathetic, weak. Life had barely touched him, and already he thought he'd suffered. That told me he would crumble the first time real hardship punched him in the teeth. A Stoic knows. The challenge you're facing is the path to success. This question shows you whether the person sitting in front of you has walked through the obstacle or still cowers at its edge. Question 3. Who do you admire most and why? This one's lethal because people reveal their role models faster than they reveal their sins. And a man's hero is his future. Ask this, and listen carefully. If he admires warriors, he wants strength. If he admires philosophers, he wants wisdom. If he admires celebrities, he wants attention. If he admires no one, he's arrogant and dangerous in his own way. A colleague once told me, "I admire Alexander the Great. He conquered the known world before 30. That answer told me ambition consumed him, but also that he worshipped conquest above all. Later, he betrayed his wife, his friends, his health, all in pursuit of victory, exactly as predicted. On the other hand, I once heard a man say, "I admire my grandfather. He worked the fields every day for 60 years without ever complaining. He didn't chase money, but he provided." That told me he valued grit, sacrifice, and consistency. He wasn't looking for flashy conquest. He was looking for endurance. Show me who you admire and I'll show you who you're becoming. Question 4. What do you fear losing the most? This question digs into the blackest corners of the mind. Fear is the most honest answer you'll ever get from someone if they're brave enough to admit it. Some will say money. That tells you they're insecure, chained by scarcity. Some will say reputation. That shows you their ego drives everything. Some will say family. That reveals attachment is their deepest bond. When I asked this to a wealthy man once, he smirked. Control. I can lose money, I can lose women, but if I lose control, I'm finished. Brutal honesty and dangerous. Because he revealed his greatest weakness. The moment he feels out of control, he'll spiral. Fear rules men more than desire. Epictetus warned, man is not worried by real problems so much as by imagined anxieties. This question shows you the battlefield inside their head. And if you know what someone fears, you already know how they'll act when the storm hits. Question 5. If tomorrow was your last day alive, what would you regret most? The final dagger. This one strips the mask off completely. Death is the ultimate solvent. It burns away the excuses, the posturing, the lies. When asked, some will admit regret over not chasing their dreams. Others will confess neglecting their families. Some will say they wasted time, drowned in distractions, never truly lived. I once asked this to a hardened CEO. He sat in silence for a long time. Then he whispered, I'd regret never saying I'm sorry to my son. That moment told me everything. He wasn't the stone titan he pretended to be. He was still a father haunted by guilt. That one confession revealed more truth than years of surface-level talk. Memento mori, the Stoic reminder of death, forces honesty. Nobody lies to themselves when staring at the grave. The dark truth behind these questions. These 5 questions aren't party tricks, they're scalpels. Used correctly, they slice into the core of a person and expose everything they'd rather keep hidden. Their values, their wounds, their ambitions, their fears, their regrets. The weak will avoid answering. The shallow will give cliches. But the real ones, the ones forged by life, they'll reveal themselves. And once they do, you'll hold a power most people never taste. The ability to see through masks. Machiavelli said, men are driven by 2 principal impulses, either by love or by fear. These questions show you which one controls them. And once you know, you can predict them, connect with them, or, if you choose, destroy them. Final strike. So the next time you sit across from someone, don't waste your breath on small talk. Don't ask about the weather. Don't ask about their weekend. Ask the questions that pierce. Watch carefully. Listen deeper than their words. Their answers will show you everything, the blueprint of their soul. Remember this, most people walk around blind, fooled by the masks of others. But you'll see the truth. And once you see it, you can never be fooled again, because the one who sees people clearly rules them. Thank you for watching. If you want to see more videos, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one.